Kule lesson sizobe si discussa nangu rule number 3, one of the counting principles. In the description box uzothola ama links to rule number 1, 2 and 4, as well as the probabilities involved in counting. Now, rule number 3 uthi the number of arrangements of n different things taken r at a time is given by this formula: n factorial over n minus r in bracket factorial. This is rule number 3. This is rule number 3. So this rule is we demonstrate using this example. Consider the word oranges. A. How many 7-letter word arrangements can be made if the letters may be repeated? Now, this is a mixture of the rules, but rule number 3 ukhona somewhere. So the reason why I'm taking the example is just to also do a recap and compare the rules while we discuss our rule number 3, just to show you ukuthi rule number 2, rule number 3 bahluka kanjani, right? Rule number 1, it's the easiest, but rule number 2 no rule number 3, I just want to demonstrate with bahluka kanjani. Okay, asithola ama solutions ke for A all the way up to D. A, we are given this word oranges, but the words, the 7-letter word arrangements can be made if the letters may be repeated. It may be repeated. I think draw my squares la. Square 1, square 2, square 3, square 4, square 5, square 6, square 7. Lama squares lawa, they can be filled by any letter from the word oranges to create another word arrangement, right? Since they can be repeated, it means that I can have ola, I can have o, I can have o, I can have o. I can have a word arrangement with only abu o. I can have another word arrangement in abu n pela, n corner like my oranges. I can have another word arrangement with abu g pela, meaning the letters can be repeated. So if they can be repeated, so A, sumpendula soge, city 7. For the first block, I have 7 choices. Times, for the second block, I also have 7 choices. Ngoba they can be repeated. So after choosing O, I also have 7 choices. After choosing R, I again have 7 choices. So it's going to be 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 7. Lo 7 lo wale block le. Lo 7 lo wale block letter le. Lo 7 lo wale block letter le. Lo 7 wala. 7 wala. Lo 7 wala. Lo 7 wagupi wala. So it's 7 abai 7 aba multiplier now. Right? This is the exponential notation. You discuss it under rule number 2. Check it out now. So like about 7 raised to exponent 7. This is equal to, as you born it, so it's 7 raised to exponent 7 equal to 82354. 823,543. This is our answer. This is our answer. Then B. How many 7-letter word arrangements can be made if the letters may not be repeated? This time they cannot be repeated. So I have 7 blocks. Each block represents a letter. So for the first block, I have 7 choices. For the second block, I have 6 choices this time. I cannot repeat them. So if I choose O is gone. And so the number yama letters yenzani ya decrease this time all the way up until it's figure go 1. So it's 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 for this one times 3. Saying that 3 are my choices times 2 for this one times 1 for this one. If they are not repeated, this is how you deal with it. So kuyoba 7 factorial. This is a representation of u7 factorial. If ngikhatha this out and then ngibhala a product of 5. Wait, u4 ukuphi manje? Uphi u4? Nangu 4 la. Eish. 4 ukhona la. Ngikhohle ukumbhala man. So kuyoba times 4 times 3 times 2. So this is 7 factorial. 7 factorial. I think 7 factorial. If it was 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, this was going to be 5 factorial. A factorial is 7 so. A product from mhlambe from a number, then leyo number yenzani I multiplier by the ama numbers that descendayo guys. 5 4 3 2 1 10 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. That's 10 factorial. Yeah? So this is our 7 factorial. I was just making an example nyana njela to better understand factorial. Now 7 factorial is equal to 7 shift now factorial lapha 50 40. So it's 50 40 answer yethu la. C, how many 4-letter word arrangements can be made if the letters may be repeated? Uyambona question A uyafana no C, but this time the only difference la ukuthi this time we are not creating a 7-letter word. Orange is a 7-letter word. Lana go C, we want to know how many 4-letter word arrangements can be made. How many 4-letter arrangements can be made? It's definitely not rule number 3. If they are repeated, it's not rule number 3. Ne? Rule number 3 so mthola la ku D is a question. How many 4-letter word arrangements can be made if the letters may not be repeated? I am do okay, sizoza la ku rule number 3 so means with D. For now let's focus with C. Sengiyapapa manje. Okay, C. How many 4-letter word arrangements can be made if the letters may be repeated? So kuyoba 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 equal to. Uyayibona ke manje. So this time ngina 7 choices out of 4 blocks. 1 2 3 4. The blocks are represented the 4-letter word arrangement. So for the first block I have 7 letters. They can be repeated, so it means that for the second block I also have 7 choices. Third block 7. Last block it's what? 7. So it's 7 times 7 times 7 raised to exponent 4. If ngibhala in exponential notation ngibhala is 7 raised to exponent 4. Sithola ngaki 7 raised to exponent 4, it's 2401. 401. Now I answer it to get D. Rule number 3. Rule number 3. Right? I have n different things taken r at a time is given by basically rule number 3 no rule number 2 bayafana. Nangabu apply rule number 3 in a problem your rule number 2, you can still get the same answer. I'll show you in a moment. How many 4-letter word arrangements? By the way, this is rule number 2. This is rule number 2. The factorial, it's rule number 2. Right? D. How many 4-letter word arrangements can be made if the letters may not be repeated again this time? So, as you solve without applying rule number 3. I just want to make a point. There's no need to 7 rule, but in some cases it might be helpful we 7 rule number 3. D. But for this problem was so 4-letter word. For this first block, how many choices do I have? 7 times. Keep in mind, they may not be repeated. So go about 7 times 6 for this one, times 5 for this one, times 4 for the last one. So answer yethu bandla 7 times 6 times 5 times 4, 840. Now let us apply rule number 3. Rule number 3 to this problem. This is equal to n factorial. I have n different things. I have 7 different letters. So 7 factorial. 7 factorial divided by 7 minus r at a time. It's 4 letter at a time. So go about minus 4 la. So it's 4 factorial. As you punch in, so 7 shift fact divided by 7 minus 4 shift fact. Answer it's 840. Same answer. So rule number 3 umsebenzisa if you are given n different things wena ufuna ukuzithatha at r at a time, yabona, but lezo zinto awuzirepeat nakhona. Keep in mind, lezo zinto it's important ukuthi awuzirepeat. Nangabe uyazirepeata, you always use exponential notation. If you repeat something, you always use exponential notation. Now this concludes our lesson for today, rule number 3 on accounting principles. So guys, for now, asibonane on the next lesson. Check out the description box for the other lessons akhona engiwacreatile for this probability ka grade 10, the counting principles ka grade 12. So guys, asibonane on the next lesson. Bye bye.